Happy New Year.
All right, so we are here at our cabin. We started 2023 at our cabin, and we thought we would wrap up the year here at the cabin as well. We love our little cabin, and it is holding up quite well. So we've had several people ask us some questions about the year, as whether we were out traveling, friends, family, subscribers. So we thought today we'd take a little bit of time to answer those questions.
And wrap up 2023.
Right.
Yep.
So the first question we've been asked is, what is our favorite national park? And I'm going to let Cornbread tell you his first, because we don't know what each other's going to say to these questions.
And so this is our favorite national park of 2023.
Right.
We've been to quite a few, but this year specifically, my national park is still going to be Capitol Reef.
Oh, you took mine.
Well, I mean,
it is mine too.
We went to a lot, including North Cascades in Washington. We went to Grand Teton. We went to Yellowstone. But I don't know why. We just keep coming back to Capitol Reef, and it's so beautiful there.
And it's one of the least visited parks in Utah, which we don't quite understand that because it is absolutely gorgeous, and there's so many hikes.
Yeah.
The second question that we have been asked is, what was our favorite hike? But my favorite hike was Sauk Mountain.
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
I was like, Sauk Mountain. Now, that is in Washington. It's close to
North Cascades.
I was going to say it's close to what I always say, cement.
It's close to concrete Washington.
It's actually concrete Washington, but I always joke and say it's cement.
Yeah. It was switchbacks.
Yeah, switchbacks. I think there was 26, if I remember right, switchbacks. So it's not an easy hike, but it was like when you start the hike, there are views the whole way, and then you get to the top of Sauk Mountain and you just have 360-degree views of mountains, of different mountain peaks.
Mount Baker.
It was beautiful. That's my favorite one.
Well, my favorite hike, I would say, is the Sand Canyon Trail.
Oh, wow.
In southwest Colorado.
Yeah,
it was a challenging trail for us, because we're in decent shape, but it was pretty hot. There was no cover, but the sights that you saw on that hike were just amazing to me. You're seeing these pueblos built into the side of the rock.
I think it's a history.
Yeah, it's 1,000 years old, and you can just imagine the people living there 1,000 years ago, and it's just like, it was just amazing. That was my favorite hike. Yeah. It wasn't that it was super challenging. It was fairly level. We thought we brought enough water. We didn't bring quite enough water, but we still had a wonderful time.
All right, so we will leave information down in the description on each of the places that we talk about, what our favorite was.
Including links to the videos that we've done, and information on those specific hikes.
All right, so the third question that we were asked was, do we ever get scared out there? I have to say, the scariest moment this past year for me was coming across the bear on the trail. I'm not gonna lie.
At Grand Teton.
Yeah, Grand Tetons. We were walking down the trail, and there was a mountainside here, and the bear is like right there, and I heard it huff, and Cornbread didn't hear it at first until I started calling his name. Now, it was a small bear, later to find out there, but it was still very scary for me.
Yeah.
And so make sure you always have bear spray.
Yeah.
And you're making noise as you go down the trail.
Yeah, fortunately the bear was probably about 2.5 years old from what we understand, and so the mom wasn't around. That was our initial thought, because it was a smaller bear, but it was away from its mom. So
it was a black bear.
And we were fortunate for that. But whenever Cupcake called me and I turned around and looked, the bear was less than 10 feet away from me. And we made eye contact, and he just huffed, and I just kind of looked down immediately, and then said, "Cupcake, walk this way, walk this way."
Right.
Stay calm.
Because I was shaking. I was.
And fortunately, he wasn't concerned about us at all.
Yeah.
We walked past, and we saw him later when we came back down the trail, and he was sleeping. Yeah. So we were fortunate, but you need to be aware of those things, because it could have been much worse if he was older and hadn't eaten in a while. So as far as being scared, I would say it wasn't that I was actually scared, but it was scary, was whenever the flood hit Capitol Reef.
Oh yeah.
Because it was just to see the power of the water
Right.
coming through the river there.
And the washes just
Because we were at Grand Wash hiking that actually whenever the weather started getting a little rough or noticeably different.
yeah.
And so we got out, but we've seen videos of Capitol Reef when they've had flooding, and they've had people killed in
Right.
some of these washes from just the water, the force of the water and the amount of water coming down from the rocks because it has nowhere else to go. And so that's just something you have to be aware of at some of these parks, that if they tell you to get out of the washes or stay out during flash flooding,
Get out.
Get out and stay
Quickly.
out. Just
Right.
go find something else to do.
Okay, so another question that we've been asked was, what is our favorite campsite? Do I get to tell mine first?
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite campsite was Shadow Mountain, I think that's the name of it, at next to Grand Tetons. And the reason why, there's lots of reasons why, is but my main reason is the view from that campsite.
Yeah.
We could sit outside the cargo trailer and see Grand Tetons right in the background, and it was
I just think it's funny because people that are watching, it's not Grand Teton or Grand Tetons. It's
I know, because he says it all the time now. I catch myself saying it, which is hilarious.
but everyone understands,
It's-
Grand Teton equals Grand Tetons.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
so it's the same thing. But we camped there for a few days, and there is a vault toilet there, so that was very convenient. There's not a lot of sites at that particular place, but it was
And I have to say too about that one is that we were very fortunate because from what we understood from the people that were around us, that it stays full. The people who left where our site was empty left 5 minutes before we got there, and so we probably passed them coming in, and we just got fortunate that it was actually available, because while we were there we saw tons of people coming in and out looking for a campsite.
Yeah, and had to turn around and leave because there was none. So what's your favorite campsite?
I would have to say my favorite campsite was actually Sauk Mountain Campground in Washington.
Yes.
We had to pay for that one. It was $10 per night, but it was absolutely worth it. And you had porta potties there that were available. There was the river flowed right next to the campground. It was just the beauty of that area was amazing. We saw a black bear there. It was just an amazing time for us.
And we got to share that one with family.
Yeah.
So that was extra special as well. Like I said, picking a favorite campsite was the hardest because we could go into details about the 80-mile wilderness campsite that was along the river. So that's what I'm saying. So there's so many favorite campsites. It's very difficult to pick that one. That was the hardest for me picking.
Well, and like she said, I had forgotten about that one. But there were several in Wyoming, a couple in Montana. There was one in Idaho. And I'll drop some pictures in here of some of these places that we stayed for our campsites. But one thing to remember is that we try to find dispersed, free camping areas. The one in Sauk Mountain, it was kind of hard to find some. There were some free ones close to Mount Baker, but when we saw this one, it was like, it's worth it, $10, that's fine. And so we ended up staying there for a week or so.
Yeah.
But it just made it worth it because it was closer to the places we wanted to be. But the rest of the time, we didn't pay to camp anywhere else.
Okay, so the next question was, what was our favorite state park? And I'm going to let you tell yours first.
Okay. My favorite state park is going to be Goblin.
Oh my, shoot, you keep taking all of mine.
Goblin Valley State Park in Utah.
That was new to us this year.
Yeah, it was the first time we've been there, even though it's only about an hour away from Capitol Reef, so I have no clue how we missed it the last time we were at Capitol Reef. But we went to Capitol Reef this year. When we were leaving, we came up to that. I had seen a video of it, and it got me interested, but once we got there, I wasn't really prepared for how amazing the place is. And if you want to fly a drone there, we were fortunate to do that too, because they let you do it as long as there's not a ton of people in the park.
I think it was $10.
It's $10 to fly your drone. So if you have a drone, pay the $10.
Right. And fly.
Get some epic shots. I mean, we had an amazing experience there.
Now, we only had one day
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Because we had to get back to Grand Junction area.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite park, state park as well. And to me, it was just like you were stepping into another world.
Yeah.
You know, now I did go down into one of the caves, the Goblet's Lair.
Yeah, I went to Goblins and Goblet's Lair.
And that was a little scary at first, but it wasn't bad once you actually got to where you were looking to go into the cave. So it was epic. It was an epic place.
Yeah. All right, so there's lots of national parks we went to and state parks, but also what was your favorite national monument that we went to?
Yeah, because we went to a lot of national monuments as well. I would have to say my favorite national monument is Bandelier. We weren't expecting it to be as challenging, I guess, at the end as it was. It's the history there.
Oh yeah.
It blows me away every time I think about how the ancient people lived in the sides of the mountains and thing. Now, it was a little bit of a scary challenge for me when we went to that last part where we had to climb the 4 ladders all the way up.
It was 140 feet
climb
on ladders.
140 feet climb up. So that was a little scary for me because I don't like heights. But it was an epic place, and the campsite there as well. We got to camp there in the national park or the national monument, and I loved that place.
I'd have to say my favorite national monument was Colorado National Monument. Just west of Grand Junction, Colorado. And whenever I say it was one of my favorites, it was just I was not prepared for it to be what it was because I had virtually never heard of it. And the fact that it's not a national park, I know it's kind of hard to sometimes why is this a monument? Why is this a park?
Right.
But it's like the hikes they had there, the views of like Independence Monument. It's just if you can make that drive through the scenic drive, that drive by itself is amazing.
Okay, so the final question was, did we go to any place that was like just epic, I guess? And for me, it was.
Well, you say for me, for both of us.
Yeah, for both of us, because I can probably say that this is probably going to be your favorite as far as epic stuff, and that was our hike down into the Grand Canyon when we went to Havasupai. The hike is 10 miles down.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. You can fly down in a helicopter, but you're going to miss that experience. So it's a 10-mile hike down to Supai. And then from there you have to hike about another 1.5 miles to get to the actual campground.
And depending on how far you choose your campsite to be, and
this place isn't free.
No, it wasn't.
No,
It was a little expensive.
This place you have to pay for, but definitely look it up. I'll put a link down in the description for more information. But whenever you get there, it's Mooney Falls, it's Havasu Falls, it's Beaver Creek or Beaver Falls. And we hiked. We were fortunate to have family with us on that one as well. And
I think we did a total of around 50 miles, me and Amanda added up while we were there down into the Grand Canyon. Now, like you said, you can choose to fly in on a helicopter and fly out on the helicopter. You can choose to rent mules to pack your stuff in and out as well, because if we chose to hike down in, so we had all our stuff on our backs.
And we had every intention of hiking back out, but at the end of it, it's like,
we were exhausted.
How much is a helicopter? I don't care.
We were exhausted. Which the helicopter ride out was a good experience as well.
And it took us 5 hours, I guess, to get down there, and it took us 6 minutes to get out. So, but the experience of being there, it's something we want to do again. Because even though we took close to 1,000 pictures and videos during the time we were there, it just felt like it still wasn't enough.
Okay, so that is going to wrap up 2023. Remember, we do have quite a bit of videos that we haven't even put out yet that we did for 2023. So stay tuned for those. We had an epic year, and I can imagine that we're going to have another epic year for 24.
We have every intention of continuing this adventure. And one thing we have going on now is we have a giveaway for the end of January of 2024. So if you're interested, we're going to start doing this more often, because we haven't even talked about it so far in the video, but we went over 2,000 subscribers.
Yay!
We never thought that was going to happen, because we just do this because we like to travel, and we're kind of wanting to show family and friends become subscribers, or subscribers become friends.
Right.
So that's where we are now. So if you're interested, subscribe to our channel, then go to cupcakeandcornbread.com, click on giveaway. It's going to ask you a couple of questions just so we know who you are. And at the end of January, we're going to draw one of our subscribers will win a $50 gift certificate. And I don't know where it's going to be. We may just say, where would you like this gift certificate to be for? Right. And we may do something like that. But we're hoping to continue to do that probably once a quarter, because our goal in having this channel and doing the things we do, we want everybody to see that it doesn't have to be expensive.
Right.
You don't have to break the bank. You don't have to. There's other ways to do things.
We want to inspire others.
Well, we hope we inspire others.
Yeah.
That we're not trying
true.
to go. We're not. I'm not Tony Robbins. You know what I mean?
Who's Tony Robbins?
Well, but we just want people to see. It's like you don't have to. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to spend a lot of money on an RV. You don't have to do all these other things. We just want everyone to think about their options in life, and think about where they are now versus where they want to be. And if your goal is to make a lot of money, do that.
Right.
If your goal is to have an adventure in your life, do that. If your goal, whatever your goal is, just do it. That first step is the biggest thing. You have to say, you know what, let's try it. Let's try this out.
Simplicity is what we want, and what we're trying to work toward.
Yeah, because like our cabin right here, we built this ourselves. That we paid off. We had our Lowe's card. We charged it. We paid it off, and we have our house. Yep. And it's our little camp that we absolutely love. The creek is right over there, but life is short. Right. Don't wait.
Get out and have some adventure and enjoy life too. Don't just get wrapped up in just working all the time.
Just whatever makes you happy.
Yes. Make sure
whatever makes you happy, do that. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any questions for us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on our next adventure.
Bye. Don't look at me, because every time you look at me, then I'm supposed
Don't
to
look at me.
Yeah,
Okay.
look at the...
Okay, I'm gonna look over. You look over there.
Okay, I'm good.
Wait. No, you look over there for 10 seconds. I'll look over there for 10 seconds, then we'll be good.
Okay.